systems of data mining. Okay, so the first stage is the data volume reduction. Now, large data volume is a problem which we very frequently encounter, not just in the power systems but also in other areas. The data that I'm talking about over here, it consists of frequencies at 2400 generators of the system at about 450 time points, which corresponds to the simulation time of 20 seconds at certain time steps. So every time I talk about a data point or a data object, that is a tau dimensional vector of frequencies. When I compare two signals, two time-varying signals, or when I compare two vectors, I need some kind of similarity measures. There are several similarity measures from data mining literature, Minkowski distance, Pearson's correlation coefficient, and so on. The one that I have used is Euclidean distance. So if you have two tau dimensional vectors, xp and xq, then the Euclidean distance is given by this formula, which is simply the square root of the sum of squares of the element to element difference of these two vectors. So that's the Euclidean distance which I've used. Now, this stage of data volume reduction is based on an application of k-means clustering. And it turns out there are other researchers as well who have applied k-means clustering to reduce data volume. The idea is to group objects into k clusters where k is pre-specified. K-means clustering is known to be quite a fast algorithm because its complexity is linear with the number of nodes or the number of objects to be clustered. And I'll be talking about that in detail in the next slide. But the idea is once I cluster the objects in k clusters, those k centers, and please remember those k centers each would be tau dimensional. Those would be input for the next stage, which is the distinct pattern identification stage. So here are more details about the formulation. So once again, my idea is to cluster 2400 generator responses. Each response is tau dimensional, and I want to find k centers, k cluster centers. Again, each of these k cluster centers will be tau dimensional, and there is a minimization that needs to be performed and subject to some constraints. And you can see in the minimization, I have the square of Euclidean distance over there. And what these two constraints physically mean is that every object can be associated to one and only one center. Now the exact solution in this formulation is a difficult problem, it's NP-hard. So what is done is to apply an iterative algorithm, which is commonly called the k-means algorithm. So here is how the algorithm...
Where did 300 come from?
So the 300 is what I'm choosing. It's a trial and error process. So looking at the data, I want to cluster it in a sufficient number of clusters so that I don't lose much information. At the same time, I'm reducing the data volume. Okay, so here's the algorithm, how it works. So the idea is to find k clusters around k centers. The first step of the process is to select k random objects as k centers. And then the other objects that are to be clustered are associated to the nearest center by Euclidean distance. And that will form all of these k clusters. So k clusters around k centers. Once these k clusters are formed in step 3, then what I do is I recalculate the k centers. So I will have k clusters and k recalculated centers. Now I compare these k recalculated centers with the ones I had earlier. If they are different, then the process is repeated, so I go back to steps 2 and step 3. But if these k recalculated centers are same as the previous iteration, then the algorithm stops its conversion. So at the end of this iterations, I have k centers. Again, each of them are tau dimensional, and these would be input to the next stage, which is the distinct pattern identification stage.
So how do you update how do you do step 3?
Step 3 would be so if I have like k objects in the center, so what I do is that so what k-means would do is actually find an object which is not one of these objects. We'll come up with a point which is may or may not be one of the objects. So if you can from that object, it is going to look at all distances of all the objects in that cluster. So whichever is nearest to that object, that would be my center. So here actually these K centers be one of the objects in the cluster.
Always.
It's not one of, I'm not creating a new object. It will be one of those.
So you pick the one that's closest to the
Yes,
center.
yes. Okay, so the next stage, which is the distinct pattern identification stage, this stage is what I call the heart of this proposed methodology, because at this stage I'm separating out the distinct patterns, and these distinct patterns which will be identified at the end of the stage, this would capture the range of responses demonstrated by the system. This stage is based on applying another clustering algorithm, which is the quality threshold clustering algorithm. Some of the features of the quality threshold clustering are it forms very high quality clusters, and there is no need to specify how many clusters I need at the beginning of the algorithm. Also, this clustering algorithm allows the creation of single point clusters or single object clusters. However, it does require a specification of a threshold diameter, and it is quite complex, complexity-wise. So the main reason of complexity is due to a step in this algorithm when the distance of every object is computed from every other object that needs to be clustered. So what is called a nearest neighbor search. Now, looking at the literature, there are some research that has gone on to reduce the complexity or how to address the nearest neighbor search complexity. And one of the techniques that I found was KD trees, which is a space partitioning technique. But again, I found that if the number of dimensions are large in the data, then KD trees or space partitioning techniques are not quite useful. And researchers have found that in those cases, simply applying a naive approach, naive search, gives better results. And that's what I had found as well. So that is why I have applied a naive approach, finding the distance between every other object. But here I should emphasize the importance of the data volume reduction stage, because when I applied the data volume reduction stage, I had already reduced the 2400 generator responses to actually 300 generator responses. So that is how the data volume reduction stage is very useful in my overall methodology. And as you can see, it runs quite fast in MATLAB. Put it up in MATLAB, it runs in less than 5 seconds. So operating on all of these 2400 responses, and each being 450 dimension.
So you're essentially doing two clustering
Yes.
algorithms.
Yes.
One of them to make it smaller.
Yes. So this is the algorithm for a distinct pattern identification. As you can see, there are 3 steps. So in the step 1, around every object a cluster is formed by associating those objects which are closer to it than a certain distance, the threshold diameter that I mentioned.